name is Courtney Taylor, and I am about 8 days out from my first show, the NPC West Coast Classic.
Don't touch me!
What is going on? What are you going to get this mad at me when I'm apologizing to you?
It was very toxic. I saw proof with my own eyes. I heard calls.
Decide whether or not you're done, Catherine.
I am mad that you told me to come.
Decide right now.
I can't feel my arm. What? Ma'am. My boyfriend is dying of a stab. Ma'am.
Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend. Yeah, you did.
We are charging 26-year-old Courtney Taylor Clenney with 1 count of second-degree murder in Christian's death.
Now, we know Courtney Clenney is claiming self-defense in the stabbing death of her boyfriend, Christian Abumseli, and we're pleased to welcome in her defense attorneys, Frank Prieto and Sabrina Puglisi. Good morning to you both. Thanks so much for coming on the show with me today. And we want to catch up on what happened yesterday. So we know you all had a date set for a status conference on the case. So tell us, if you would, please, what happened.
Well, first off, good morning, Julie, and thank you for having us on, and congratulations on the new show and the analysis and insight. You really bring great insight to your viewers, so it's a pleasure to be here. So as we discussed last time, we have a hearing set coming up for the 16th of November, and that is a motion to suppress that we filed, the surreptitious recordings that Abumseli took of Courtney. So that's coming up. That's really the next kind of big phase that we have coming, and then discovery continues and more depositions, and obviously we're preparing for trial.
Frank, thank you for that. You know, back to the surreptitious recordings, I remember you and Sabrina telling me previously that it's your legal theory as you present your case that Christian Abumseli was trying to set up a narrative with your client, Courtney Clenney. Am I correct on that?
Julie, yes. So going back to those surreptitious recordings, actually, you were correct. I misspoke last time. Florida is a two-party state. You need consent from both parties. And it was a pattern of Abumseli to gaslight Courtney by his own writings and letters. He admits to gaslighting her. He would get her all riled up and then record her secretly and then use it against her later and threaten to disclose it to her family members and friends.
Oh boy, okay, so this is gonna be big. November 16th, we'll be there, of course, cameras permitted in the state where you both practice. And we know Courtney has been very emotional at the different hearings when she's brought up. We know she's being held in jail right now. How has she been holding up during this period of time?
Well, I can speak to that, Julie, and thank you for having us. I visit Courtney regularly, and as you can imagine, it takes a toll being incarcerated during this time frame. She is patient, though, and she understands. Unfortunately, the process, it's a normal process, right? In every case, to prepare a case of this magnitude, it takes time. And we are cognizant of the fact that, we believe she's innocent. She's sitting in jail, and we are trying to get the case ready as soon as possible. But the wheels of justice do not always turn swiftly.
Right, no, certainly not, Sabrina, certainly not. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, you two are sensational advocates. She is in the very best hands for this case that does involve, and you both have acknowledged some bad facts. There are some really tough facts that you both are gonna be contending with. I have a clip from the medical examiner talking about the knife and the placement in Christian Abumseli's body. Let's listen together to that now.
Based on the information you received that the defendant was alleged to have thrown this knife, do your observations support that?
I'm not an expert in knife throwing. If the person who supposedly did this is an expert knife thrower, and the knife is a type of knife that you can throw, I guess that could have happened.
Okay, so we know that was on the record. Sabrina and Frank, is it still your contention as her defense team that that knife was in fact thrown?
100%.
I'll let Sabrina follow up, but absolutely, absolutely, and we have debunked the state's theory that she actually approached him and stabbed him. So I'll let Sabrina address that in a little more detail.
Wow. Go ahead, please, Sabrina.
We have our own medical examiner, and we will be filing a expert witness list, so he will be listed. He absolutely believes that the knife could have been thrown. In fact, he actually does knife throwing himself, and so you don't have to be an expert. I can tell you, I personally have used the same knife and thrown it, and I've been able to hit a target from throwing it. So you do not need to be an expert. You do not need to be a strong man. Anybody can throw a knife. Unfortunately, in this situation, it's not a precise thing. It's just, I don't want to say dumb luck, because it was not lucky. It was a terrible tragedy, but it can happen. It did happen in this case, and we will prove it.
Wow. This is big information. One of the many reasons I love talking with you both, and you've been very transparent in your defense from the get-go. I think you've been on talking with us at Court TV at least 3 or 4 times about this. Well, okay, so that is that. You're calling your own expert to refute the state's medical expert's testimony with regards to the knife. Courtney's own family, we know, witnessed the toxicity. Her dad spoke out publicly about that in the relationship. We have a clip of that. I want to play it for you both now.
It was very toxic, and I knew from the beginning that he was not treating her correctly. I saw proof with my own eyes. I heard calls between them, calls to my wife. I heard many things that a father who loves his daughter very deeply should never have to put up with.
Ooh, and we know, seeing a lot of the toxicity that was captured in those videotapes, it seems to go both ways. It seems like there was some mutual combat, mutual fighting, mutual abusive behavior that was taking place. Frank and Sabrina, is there a concern that this could be harmful to the case that you're putting forth, that Courtney Clenney was the victim here?
Julie, I think it's a great point to bring up now. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so the violence between the two of them was tragic, and it was toxic. There's no doubt. It does go both ways. The evidence will show that Omselli himself had demons that he was fighting with from a result of being raped by his own father. And those are Omselli's own words. So the violence and rage that he had within him came out, and unfortunately, Courtney had to take actions that night to save her own life.
Oh my gosh, you know, one thing is for sure, and you both have said this, Frank and Sabrina, this case is tragic all around. It's one where there are no winners, and you two are advocating for your client, as you should, because she does deserve all of the protections under the law. And of course, Christian Omselli does too, and we know the state is fighting, you know, for him, and their respective position differs from yours, of course. We will look forward to talking with you more. November 16th, again, you gave me, that is the date for that big motion to suppress. We will surely be there.